and we will get started. Thank you all again for joining me for Coffee with Katie. It's a free monthly networking and educational event I host as a way to kind of give back in cooperation in the spirit of Principle 6, cooperation among cooperatives. So it's my pleasure to get to talk with you and share with you some things I've learned, but also for you guys to share with each other and to learn from each other. So today we're talking about gift ownerships and using gift ownerships as a way to grow the co-op and leverage that opportunity. So I've got a few slides I will share, and then we will, this will be informal and casual like it usually is. So feel free to interrupt or ask questions or stop me at any point. Let's see here. Let me share the right screen. And let's go. Okay, here we go. Can you see my screen? Awesome. All right, so we're talking about gift ownerships. We're going to go over some best practices for gift ownerships, and those are centered around 3 areas. One being an internal process, a documented internal process for gift ownerships, packaging, and then promotion of gift ownerships. So we're in the season of gift giving. You know, clearly this is when the majority of gifts probably take place in our lives. But really, gift ownerships can be utilized year round. You know, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, graduations, weddings, all kinds of things. So when you have a documented internal process and some good packaging, that makes it that year-round promotion much easier. And we typically think of December as the month of gift ownerships. But this chart documents ownership growth of 6 co-ops who have shared their data, either used CoApp, which is my online contact relationship management tool designed for fundraising. So this data has come from that. The data in there is either co-ops who've used CoApp or co-ops who have donated their data, given us our data for purposes of analytics. So you can see that really the most growth happens in the summer, which is normal. I think we're most active farmers markets and tabling events in the summer, but December really is not much farther behind than June. So oftentimes we get to this part of the year and we think, oh, nobody's buying ownerships, nothing's happening in December. But in reality, people really are. This is an active month for us. June, April, and December are the 3 top months for ownership growth of the average co-ops that we looked at with this data. So we really don't want to take that kind of laissez-faire approach. Like, oh, no one's doing it anyways. We'll just take some time off. It's focusing on it and giving it some attention really can pay off. So the documented internal best practice really is important. Oh, sorry, I want to go back to that one. And you want to think through the process of gift ownership and ask yourself and your co-op some questions. So thinking about how people will purchase these gifts. Does it happen on your website? Does it have to happen in person? Do you have office hours where they can buy these things? Do we sell them at tabling events, or do we keep them available only through certain channels? Only, you know, a certain individual at the co-op has the materials and takes care of gift ownerships. But you want to think through that process, how the customer, how the owner is going to get to this purchase of the gift shares. And you want to think about the delivery method as well. So a gift typically is in a package with a bow and it looks pretty. So think about that delivery method. Is that what we're going to do? Is this going to be a hard copy delivery, or is this an electronic delivery? Is this an email we send a copy of to the gift giver, and the gift recipient receives an email notifying them that they've been given this gift? And if it is an email, if it is electronic, then it should be special. it should look different from our regular emails. It should have some strong graphics and good messaging and seem special. You want it to feel like a treat that this individual is receiving. The recipient might need some more information. So if you've joined us on these calls before, one of the things we talk about quite frequently is the fact that it takes 7 touches before someone is ready to become an owner. So they have to hear about us at the farmer's market, and then their friend tells us about it, and then they see us in the newspaper, and so on and so forth. And so finally they're like, oh yeah, this is something for me. Well, think about a gift ownership. Susan decides to give, someone in her life an ownership. And so they've never heard of the co-op before. Someone, maybe just her neighbor moved in, brand new neighbor to town. And she says, oh, I'm going to welcome them to the neighborhood by giving them an ownership in the co-op. Well, that person's jumping in at where we are all on at least touch number 7, maybe way beyond touch number 7. So that recipient probably needs a little more TLC. They need a little more relationship building. So think about the information that we might want to send with that gift ownership, like maybe the brochure, maybe an invitation to our Facebook group, if we have one of those. Or maybe another thing we've talked about here before is a drip email campaign, where we send a series of emails to a certain targeted audience. People who've received gift ownerships would be a great audience for a drip email campaign. So they get a series of emails over the next few weeks that kind of fill them in. This is what the co-op is. This is what we do. This is why we do it. This is where you fit in. And that helps kind of make those touches and get that owner, even though they are already an owner, to the same spot we all are when we became owners. We're committed and engaged and excited. And the reason I mention that is because when we're looking at stats, we see that people who have been gifted an ownership are much less likely to invest in the capital campaign later. So they're not as financially attached. They're not as committed to the organization as someone who purchases their ownership share just because they believe this is the right thing to do. And they've gone through that 7-touch process themselves. So if we can help bridge that gap, we can help facilitate gifts when it comes time to the capital campaign. Does someone have a question? I can't see everyone always. Okay, we're going to keep going then. Okay, I think that's all I want to cover on that slide. Special packaging. So it's a really good idea to create some special packaging, whether that's electronic, like I said, a special email that looks different than your regular emails, or some hard copy packaging. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to click on my Zoom camera here and I clicked on the wrong thing. And this is an example of some packaging at Green Top Grocery. So it's very simple. It's in line with the co-op's values. It's recycled materials, minimal packaging, raffia bow. And then that tag there, you can see that's a snowflake. But very simply, we could create 3 tags or 4 tags. And you could have a snowflake, a flower, and a sprout. And so you could interchange the tag really easily for Mother's Day, or for a wedding, or for anything, any kind of gift, so that the packaging is applicable year round. Let's see here. What else do we want to talk about with that? Yes, we talked about the email template, if we're going to do that, and the special packaging. I think is important. So even if it's a colored envelope with a sticker, or it doesn't have to be expensive or over the top. It can be very simple yet impactful. And then promotion year round. This is something that absolutely we can talk about during other times of the year. As I mentioned, weddings and graduations and all the kinds of holidays all the kinds of events in life that we give gifts for. A co-op membership is an option. And if we're consistent about our promotion of the gift option, that will mean that when people do encounter an event in their life where they need a gift, they'll think of the co-op automatically. So some tips for that promotion is to take really good photos. Make sure that you have great images of the packaging or of the process that clearly document what the package looks like. So the gift giver knows, ooh, this is something special. This is going to look great. They're going to love this. We also can ask the gift giver to take a picture when they give the gift, so I remember a time when I was doing outreach and someone bought a gift as a Christmas gift, a gift ownership as a Christmas gift, and they gave it to the recipient in front of the Christmas tree, and they took a picture of the person with the gift in front of the tree. And that was, very valuable social media. Lots of comments and traction on a post like that. And if you can get the gift giver to help you out there, it's a great way to continue that promotion. And you also want to make sure that you're including gift ownerships in any kind of owner growth promotion that you're doing. So we all are on a mission to grow owners. And oftentimes, we have a raffle during a certain month if we hit certain milestones, or we're giving something away to everyone who becomes an owner. Make sure that applies to gift ownerships too. So current owners who are already bought in, understand that they can get in on the action and give a gift of ownership too. So that's a great thing to keep in mind. And taking these supplies wherever you go. So if you are using a hard copy package, special envelope or special packaging, make sure you pack those supplies with you when you go to a tabling event or when you show up at the farmer's market, so that when someone stops by your table and they want to buy a gift for their neighbor who just moved to town, you can set them up right there, get the package done, put the pretty sticker or the bow on it, and send them on their way with the gift right at the table. So let's talk about who among us have used gift ownerships and how has it gone. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and we can have a little bit of a chat. So anyone use gift ownerships at your co-op now? Lisa, you guys do? Yep. Becky, so that's Rooted Carrot and Free Range Co-op, if anyone's looking for resources. Are those available, Lisa, on your website? Can you buy a gift ownership on your website?
You can, but we're working to try to revamp it because we don't feel like it's very user friendly. The struggle is that, we're requesting information like, do you want to be included in, in our email? And
right.
Are you all of the information on the usual sign-in page doesn't feel accessible to someone who's giving a gift. So we're trying to think through how we can have a different screen for people who are gift giving that will ask basic information, but then follow up with the recipient to try to have them input some of the more personal information and options that are more, like opinion, things that they
absolutely right. I want your email, or I don't, or I want, yeah.
We were having a conversation about this with our brand new board members last month. One of our new board members, very excitingly, is a web developer, and she was like, well, what about doing some kind of like a coupon? So what you receive as the recipient is some kind of a coupon that then you have to kind of redeem, you take this to the website and put in the coupon code, and it says, oh, you have a paid membership, fill this out now, because another question that I had is, our policy is that we don't allow people to transfer a membership. And so what happens if I get a membership from someone who doesn't know me very well, but I already have one? So that was my question to the board was, are we going to allow people who are in that situation, which I'd be really excited if we ever had enough, that would actually happen, but it could. And so that's one way that would facilitate that. Like if someone gives me a gift membership and I have a coupon code to go to the website and complete the information, if I already have a gift membership, I could pass that to someone. I could re-gift it then, we were trying to think through ways that could be an option. So
yeah. And hopefully when you would think, maybe not, that when an ownership application comes in, we would, you know, whomever is processing those would recognize that that person's already in our system, but maybe not. I don't know.
Well, that could be, as you mean, as they're filling out the gift membership, but you know, it takes a minute. Like you do it online and they pay through PayPal, and then it goes to the membership chair who says, oh,
Sure.
wait a minute. You know,
Right. It would have to be
it
processed
would
on
be
our
cleaned up
end. Right.
big time that I don't know that we'd know in real time.
Yeah, probably
Just
not real
like
time, but we
that.
could call the person who gave the gift and say, hey, Susan, you just bought a gift for Lisa. She's already an owner.
Yeah.
You know, is there
Yeah.
someone else
So
you want
then
to
we
give that to?
have a
Or?
way then we have to have a way to
Yeah.
transfer that or to give them back their money. And you know, those are things that when you're in the
Yes.
fundraising phase, you don't usually allow people to get money back. So it
Sure.
just required thinking about our bylaws and our common practices and how we might need to tweak some things. So
Yeah, absolutely. Those are all absolutely things we have to think about when we're doing these. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Susan, you have a question?
Yeah, I know I've read that a lot of gift cards that are given are never actually used.
Mhm.
And I was wondering, what if you buy a gift membership for somebody and there's a coupon and they think, well, I'm not interested, or they put it aside and they just
Mhm.
don't do anything with it. What happens then? I mean, that could happen.
Yeah, they would be, in my opinion, then they'd be an inactive owner. They'd probably be in the system, but they wouldn't be, you know, they wouldn't have be getting our email. They wouldn't be corresponding with us because they haven't opted in yet.
right.
So the name goes along with the name of the person who's getting the gift goes along with the coupon. So even if it's not redeemed, you put them in your system as an owner, I guess.
Well, the funds you would be documenting the accounting, if not nothing else, that
Yeah.
the dollars have been received. And so, you know, it is a potential, you know, I think a lot of retailers see gift cards as that kind of revenue stream that often doesn't redeemed. And so it is a revenue stream for us. If that happens, I don't think it would be necessarily a bad thing. It's a revenue stream for us. But as I talked about earlier, these owners typically are the less active, less engaged, less likely to contribute to our fundraising. So if we can find a way to get them engaged, you know, that would be optimal, but you know, that's a perfect world. Becky, how about you guys? How does gift ownership work for free range?
Yeah, so we do have a web presence, and I did bring it up on my phone to show you guys. So I'm on the homepage. It's a pretty simple. I like our website. It's a pretty elegantly simple design. And one of the tabs is ownership. And so you go to that page and it gives you really step-by-step instructions. And on the application piece, you'll see, I don't know if there's too much glare here for you guys to see, but there's 3 selections. It's apply online. There's a mail-in application that you can download. And then the third one is gift ownership. And so the information that's collected off that gift ownership button is about the gift and the giftee. And for the giftee, what Lisa was talking about, it's just name, address, phone number, email. So it's not at all like the application that we use for our owners who are, you know, buying ownership for themselves. I don't know, and I have given gifts before. I don't know, as far as like the touch points that you were talking about, Katie, if what those look like, because we do have touch points for everyone who becomes an owner. I don't know if they're different for a gift ownership. So that's a question. And I don't believe that I've never tabled, but I've been at the table, you know, when people are tabling, and I don't recall seeing give a gift of ownership. So I'm not sure that we do that piece either.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I think we must, after the person is contacted, perhaps they get another application that has the information that we collect off of.
For regular ownership.
Yeah,
info.
I'm not sure. I've got questions about that now, but that's what we're doing.
Gotcha. Cool. Hey, Paula.
Hi, Katie. I'm so sorry I was late. I couldn't find the link. I thought I got it in an email. So, and I don't know if you've done introductions or not, but so Megan is here with Cultivate.
Yes,
So I'm
I did meet
excited.
her earlier. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm so excited to have Megan. She's our new volunteer coordinator. And
fantastic.
yeah, she's gonna be great. I'm so excited to have Megan on our team. Um, we've it's almost like everything we do, it's kind of just surface at this point. It's not like really deep kind of stuff, just with capacity with the board and
Mhm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done, I think like 2 years in a row, we just kind of in beginning of December, give a gift for the holidays. And we would put it on our social media, and we have packaging that we got, and we were just going to put a gift card in it. And we've never ever given a gift card, never. So that's why I'm like, okay. And we've talked about this at our outreach. We've revamped our outreach team in July, so we have a pretty excited outreach team, and we're going to be really pushing it in 2024. And so yeah, we talked about gift giving. And so anyway, so that's why I wanted to be a participant. And yeah, putting it on the website. We don't have it. Give as a gift. We have, like you said, Becky, the printout copy, and then online, but we don't have give a gift. So that should be a no-brainer right there.
Yeah, that should be a pretty easy update, I would imagine,
Yes.
on a website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely, absolutely, and real simple. And I do like the approach that Free Range is taking, where we're just collecting basics, for the recipient, and then following up with them later, which is another opportunity to touch them and talk with them about the co-op or give them more information. So that. I think that seems like a great process. Becky, do you guys do a lot of gift ownerships? Do you know?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I know on our master list, it is, I do believe it's designated if it was a gift or not, or where did you hear, where did you hear about us? And actually it does say gift, and there are a few of them up there.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And this is not going to make or break your outreach efforts, I don't think. But every extra ownership counts. And even if we can get 20 of them a year, or even a percentage of our regular ownership growth, if 10% of our growth in a year is gifts, that's still helpful.
We've got 1,050 owners now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I believe under 20 are gifts.
Yeah, so that's a very small percentage, even when you think about it on an annual basis. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what our percentage is, but I know when I've looked at a list, even an early list that's way outdated, it's kind of like the really active, like the founders, or like people who've been on the board. Like, I gave gifts to each of my adult daughters, and so it's kind of those of us who are on the board who've already invested, and that kind of thing. So
yeah, and that is actually a way for current owners to continue to support the co-op. Especially if this is. Go ahead, Lisa.
I'm our membership chair, and the last time that we did a membership drive, my thought process was, instead of spending $200 giving another gift membership, I'm going to spend $200 buying incentives for other people to get a membership. And like, if I'm a member, so that was kind of a move that I personally made, away from giving one more person a gift membership towards using the money I would normally use for that to donate, basically incentives for people to join. So become a member and you'll get, whatever. And so that's just a thought. That was something that I shifted kind of to mentally, that it was better to have, 4 new people join and spend $200 than me spend $200 to bring one person in.
Sure. So what were some of the incentives, Lisa?
Well, I used downtown gift certificates that were pretty sizable, so I tried to do local businesses. What else we have an annual Big Maple Syrup Festival at one of our local public parks. And so I supported their efforts by buying tickets to the pancake breakfast for that. And, you know, if you became a member owner, you and a friend could go to that. And so
Oh,
I
that's
tried to find
cool.
local things that were happening at the time. It was somewhat effective because we're just kind of in a not super enthusiastic place, right? You know, looking for a site,
Sure.
it's gone on for a long time. So the timing of it, we had a site in our that we were working towards, and we timed it thinking we would finalize that deal and be able to make an announcement, and then that fell through. But we had already said we're going to have a membership drive, and it felt wrong to be like, never mind.
Change
So
your
we
minds.
still went ahead. Yeah, right. So we still went ahead with the membership drive, but without the site announcement that we were hoping for, it was less effective, but at
Sure.
least we tried.
Yeah. But I like that idea, actually. You know, especially if you're in a position, and many of us are, that we've been involved with our co-op for quite some time, and we've probably bought gifts for everyone we know or love. That's really a cool way to do it. I think that that's helpful. It reminds me of like another similar situation. Once a church I went to had the pastor gave not everyone, but he had like envelopes of $500, a few envelopes of $500, and he gave them out at the service. And he told people they could do whatever they wanted with it. And they should do, but he was leading them to do something for others, you know. And so some people, you know, donated $500 to the food bank, and some people probably kept the money, but some people use that $500 to amplify, like to create a raffle that they sold tickets to, that now that $500 became $1,000 or $1,500. And it was really remarkable to see how creative people were when they were given even just a small amount of resources, $500. They could turn it into $10,000 in some cases. So that's a great idea, Lisa. I love that.
Yeah.
Not what we came here to talk about, but that's why I love what we're doing here, because we're all better together. You know, these ideas come up and we learn from each other. So that's great. That's awesome. Ron, how about you guys? You guys use gift ownerships in Whitewater? You're on mute, sir.
There we go. Sorry about that. It was noisy in here and I wanted to cut that out.
Thank you.
So interesting, in the last month, we've picked up 3 gift memberships. One was a board member's mother who moved from Austin, Texas to Whitewater, Wisconsin. You know, just wanted to be closer to family kind of thing. And so one of the things that the board member did was give her a gift membership. And I was there when she presented it, and the mother was about as excited as I've ever seen a person, because she was, one of the reasons she didn't want to leave Austin was her food co-op. And
right?
she didn't even know that there was one here in Whitewater. Well, we haven't opened yet, but so she was really excited that we are opening a food co-op. So that was kind of fun. Another one was a new neighbor who moved in. And I forget the third one, but in honor of today, I was talking to one of my employees, and it's an employee. I started the conversation off by, "How long have you worked for me, Joan?" And she said, "Well, yeah, I think it's approaching 30 years." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I would like to present you a gift membership to our co-op." Now, you've got to understand that she, you know, how many times has she photocopied something for me?
Right? She's practically working for the co-op.
Yeah, that is exactly right. Yeah, exactly. Well, she gave me a big hug.
Aww.
You know, so sometimes a gift membership can turn out to be even bigger than what it is,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and I didn't expect it, you know, but anyhow, I thought I'd share that, you know, I mean, yeah, she's worked for us for 50 or 30 years, which, you know, it goes by so fast that we probably don't recognize our employees as much as we should.
Right.
But so anyhow, I thought I would share that.
That's really cool.
One of the things we are going to do, so we've had gift memberships for quite a while, but we need to improve our presence on the website, like you've discussed and others have shared, because it's not as presentable as the free range food co-op has done. It's not recognizable even. It's just says you know, gift memberships available or something like that. But it's just a statement. There's no link to click on. So I think those are good ideas to upgrade our presence for gift memberships. Make sense?
Absolutely does. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Megan, as a new volunteer coordinator, what are you thinking?
Well, I love the idea of gift memberships. And I think too that some of it will involve us being able to maybe overcome some of the objections we might hear from folks who might be kind of reticent to go that route for a gift before they've even, before the conversation's even started, like have those answers already ready. So I know, for example, like there's contacts I have in our community who are pretty deeply rooted here, right? Their family's here, they're staying here. They would love a gift membership to the co-op. And I also have a lot of contacts in the community that, I mean, they're not here full time necessarily in this area. And so they're a little bit more hesitant. You sense a little bit more of that, like, guarded interest, I would say, where they're interested and they wish the food co-op was here, but is it enough that they actually want to like invest in it or get the emails or, think about it a lot and have it become, kind of more ingrained in their family's routine? Probably not as much. So I think thinking through ways to kind of overcome that and advertise that to folks is going to be really helpful for us as well.
One thing I want to add that you're muted, Katie. We've had some people actually reach out to us and say, I want to donate a gift membership to the thing that we're doing this month. That's a raffle or a fundraiser for a bike ride or for whatever. So we have, or a church event that's giving away or doing a silent auction or something like that. So we have had people do gift memberships for things like that as well, which I think is really exciting. So then people can bid on them or win them in an auction.
That's a great idea too, Lisa. That is a great idea. Yeah, because I've oftentimes wanted to support a cause, and that would be a great way to kind of amplify that, because maybe it'll bring in more than $200 or whatever the ownership cost is, and maybe it can help another organization while helping us too.
Can I piggyback on Lisa? So yeah, we just gathered a basket together we have a big art community in Benicia, and we have a basket that's going to be at their holiday thing. And I was on the fence about, we talked about gifting it. So have any of you done this before? So we had a basket, we have a lot of goodies, we have a t-shirt, we have a book, grocery story. And I think we need the cherry on top and gift. It's a $300 owner share. Yeah. I mean, I'm like hesitant, like, is that a lot? But
yeah, you mean like it's for the co-op to donate that their own?
Yes. So they have baskets. Yeah. So they have baskets there. And then what they're doing at the event is, I guess they're selling tickets for the raffle, and then you put your tickets in whatever the jar next to whatever basket.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So most co-ops have a policy about giving away free memberships. Got
it.
That is either something that's, board approved,
Yes.
or not done at all. For example, Green Top Grocery, our policy was not to give away a membership for free because we didn't want to decrease the kind of social capital around the membership. Like if you're just giving them out
Right.
free at the fundraiser, I'll just wait till the next one and get a free one.
Right.
And so it's something to think through for sure for the co-op. And it's also it's your only revenue stream at this point too.
Right.
And so making a decision to forego that's a significant figure, is something you have to be serious about.
Yeah, exactly. Because these gifts are different than donating a whole membership. Yeah.
Right.
So exactly.
Right. Yeah. So in the instances where I have been involved with the co-op giving something away at an event like that, like a basket with goodies, local goodies and stuff, we would have we would either recruit local businesses to help us fill that basket, like ask the coffee shop for a pound of coffee and a honey maker for the honey or whatever.
Yeah.
And then someone would buy the ownership that goes into the basket. Someone would donate that personally. That would be one way to do it. But again, that's
a good thing.
Yeah. You have to have someone who's willing to make that contribution.
Exactly. That sounds good. And when we went around to buy local goodies, we would ask for a discount, like kind of almost wholesale, because we don't want to have the reputation of,
Right.
can you donate?
Yes.
Can you donate? Can you donate?
Right.
And we want to share.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to
Mhm.
share that this is good for the community and we're helping you and we want to help, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Like we're on the same team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We help you, you help us. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
like that approach much better than a donation for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I pulled up the free range website. I'll just share my screen real quick so you guys can see what Becky was showing us. So on their membership page, so this is on their home or on their website. I clicked on ownership here at the top and it takes me to their become an owner page. And then they've got those three options: apply online, mail in, or gift ownership right there. So
nice. Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. Okay. Any other questions or things you want to talk about today?
I just wondered who does their website at Free Range. I mean, how is that? How did you, what kind of software, or are you using a web developer? Or I know there's some less expensive ways to do websites and more expensive. Ours seems to be too expensive.
Susan, I don't have a straightforward answer. I can tell you that one of our board members actually does the maintenance on it. I don't know who originally created it. And maybe Katie, if you still have it up, if you scroll to the bottom, usually on the bottom of a page, it'll say powered by, or so I don't know if there's any information like that on our page.
It does not.
Okay.
It does not. Let me go back to the homepage though and just check here for sure.
But I know Shara is the one who updates the page, and we have a marketing group, and I think they're really very good. I mean, we're all volunteers, right? And it's really quite extraordinary what they do.
Yeah, there's nothing there, Becky. So that leads me to believe that it was developed, by a company developed it for us and is hosting it where it's being hosted privately, probably not like a WordPress or.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure either, but.
You've been around longer than I have, Katie, as far as, getting rolling around in this work.
Yes. When the website doesn't indicate who it's being serviced by, it's typically a paid option of some sort. But we could check with Shar and ask.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have options for Susan about website hosting or development? Ron, do you know who does your website? Is it Katie?
I think it's Katie. Yeah.
She does it. That's a board member there in Whitewater who's managing it.
And that's kind of her expertise, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lisa, if I remember right, you guys have a web developer.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. A volunteer.
He's a volunteer but I'm not sure if we sometimes pay him for extra things. I wasn't on the board when it was kind of originated. We have a volunteer who's doing the maintenance and, updates the board photos when we bring new people on and does some things. But then when she runs into something that requires extra coding or extra, like the next level, she calls Sean.
Yes.
And that's his full-time job somewhere else. So I'm not sure if at the beginning we paid him to start it or not. I wasn't there for that. So
Okay.
I feel like he may have received some compensation for his efforts, but.
Gotcha. Susan, do you know who's doing your website now?
Yeah, it's somebody, one of the board members uses him for her website. It just seems like we wanted something that we can update ourselves really easily. And so far we haven't gotten there, and he wants like $3,000 more to migrate from one platform to another. And I think maybe there's a little bit of reluctance to not keep going with him because we've already invested that much rather than going to a less expensive option. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement on that with the board. So
yeah, that seems like a lot, I think. But if you'd like to talk offline, Susan, the person who did my website, I'm very happy with, and he manages a Facebook group here in Plano called Cooperation Plano. So he's a pretty cool dude, and he gets what we're doing, and he's not cheap. I mean, he's not free, but I thought what he did for me was very reasonably priced. So if you need a contact, I'd be happy to share that info.
Katie, I have some, so I would kind of want to go back to what Megan was saying. I mean, she and I could have a conversation offline, but I think maybe everybody else could benefit from what she's saying. So Megan, you said something about like reaching out to getting some information or a survey or something like that to see if gift shares would be good or something. Is that what you were kind of saying? Like, can you elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, I actually wasn't thinking of a survey, but now that you mentioned it, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I think it might be beneficial if there's a way to kind of gauge the level of interest. Maybe it's just a simple owner survey to start with, to see like how many owners would find that they have contacts in the community or outside the community who maybe pass through here routinely, who would be interested in ownership of a co-op share, to kind of see, what that opportunity might look like to help figure out how much time, money, other resources get dedicated to this particular piece of outreach.
I see. That sounds good. Because it seems like so many times we just go in and do stuff and then
right. Yeah.
And then it's nothing happened,
Yeah.
So that sounds, and then another segue is, okay, so one thing that we want to do and we haven't done and some co-ops have done is, like scholarships with co-ops. Now, would you like, maybe in the same survey or the same, like, there's a difference between gifts and scholarships or not, like there's similarities. Like how could you message that? I mean, because so I know there's a system on, I mean, I guess some people do scholarships like just self I don't know what the word is, like you just say I need help and then there you go, you get a discount. But I don't know, I just wanted to throw that out there and have a conversation.
Yeah, that's I wrote that down, Paula, because that would be a good topic for another Coffee with Katie. We could have a whole discussion about that for sure.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of different co-ops do this lots of different ways. Sometimes they have a relationship with a foundation that can take tax deductible donations on their behalf. So you could integrate it into your membership application, an additional donation towards a scholarship, so if your membership app is $300, maybe I'm willing to give you $350 and $50 of that goes to the scholarship fund, $300 pays for mine. Then there are other there are grants that can help offset ownership costs. So you have a pool of money, and when that pool is depleted, you know, the grant or scholarship option goes away. And then you can also do payment plans or discounted, you know, discounted ownerships over time to allow people more affordability for an ownership. So yeah, there's lots to discuss about that. And if anyone else wants to chime in on that real quick while we have some time, that's great. And then I'll put that on the calendar for 2024 to make that a topic.
Okay, great. Cause like on the free range website, like you almost could have 4 online, paper, gift, scholarship.
Yeah.
Right? Like how do you redeem this? Like how do, yeah, that's
yeah. And the other, there's another discussion point there too, in having a fourth option there, it singles out the scholarships as different from everything else. And depending on the co-op's philosophy and our, you know, intention, that might make someone feel like they're not the same kind of ownership as everyone else. Whereas if you integrate it into your membership application, where you just indicate your payment is different, you know, I'm paying this way and you're paying that way, that helps people feel like, oh yeah, I'm part of the team. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, right.
We're doing our scholarship right now. So we just sort of open it for a month or so window and just say, you know, if you're interested in joining the co-op, and you need, you know, you're in need of some financial assistance to do that, let us, you know, apply now and then we'll help.
How is that funded, Lisa?
You know, I just asked the treasurer how much money was there, and she told me how many how many scholarships we could give. Other than that, I have no idea. It was before my time, so I can't really say how the pool of money appeared. But I do like
there
the
is
idea.
a set pool.
Yeah, I do like there is a set pool, and I do like the idea of adding something to the membership form that says I'd like to give more, and there might be something there that I didn't notice, but yeah. Not sure.
Free range or Whitewater, do you guys have any kind of discounted or scholarship application options?
We do in Whitewater for student memberships. We have a university here in town. We have at least one, maybe 2 alumni that have given us money for university students to become a member. If the individual member pays $25, a university student, the scholarship pays the rest.
That's cool. I love that.
And we, every year we get some. Now, of course, one of the challenges is they graduate.
Right. They move likely. Yeah. Transient.
Yeah, they do move on. So it's better to, you know, let's say they're a freshman or sophomore. And often those members come to our meetings. They, right now for the grocery store, we're forming a committee for sustainability, and we're targeting university students that are in a club at the university, and I think it's called the Sustainability Club.
That's cool. What a great idea.
So they might work on you know, the landscaping around the building and, you know, things like that would point to sustainability.
Totally awesome. I love that. Yeah. What a great way to integrate students and give them an opportunity to practice in the real world what they're learning at school and get co-op buy-in. It's a win-win-win.
The other thing for the student is, and we promote this, it's good for their resume. It's a resume builder.
True story. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Becky, free range, do you guys have any scholarship option? I can't remember.
I haven't heard of any, but we do have an option to make a payment plan. So our ownership is $100. And if somebody wants to make a payment plan, they can. I do know from, again, just having access to the owner list, that sometimes people who make that initial like $25, they never come back and do anymore.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
kind of the downfall of that, I think. But I
Yeah,
took another, and we do not have an option on our application form that says anything about donating more for scholarship.
Okay. Yeah, that payment plan situation requires some follow-up, and management. Yeah. Definitely. But it's a good option for folks who want to stay on top of it and make the payments.
And this whole conversation is a good one, because I'm thinking about, being inclusive, right? And, up here in northern Minnesota, our county is pretty, there's a lot of poverty up here. And so to be inclusive, and that's another thing that we're kind of thinking about as we go, because we want everyone there to be a price point in the shopping experience for anyone to come in and shop at the co-op, and that's a value.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, how do you then open up and say, yes, you're important too, and remove, it's a barrier is what I'm getting at. This is like $100 can be a barrier.
Absolutely.
For
a barrier,
lot of people.
Especially for if you're food insecure or in poverty, $100 is a heck of a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how we could perhaps remove that barrier. And through scholarship is one way to do it, right?
That is one way. And somebody came to our recent special member owner meeting really interested in talking about the financial barrier of membership. And he was proposing that we do something like a sliding membership, which he's all into all kinds of thoughts about the legality of things and how that would work. And I asked a group of my membership team had grown, and I just threw it out to them. And I was like, how would you feel if you've spent $200 for a membership and now we change it and say, give what you can, kind of, I mean, you would say, this is a typical price, but give more if you can, give less if you can. There's a way to do it. And I've seen an artist actually who did a really good job with a list of, if you own your own home, if you travel freely, if you do all of these things, please pay this. And then she said, if you don't have these things in your life, then you're welcome to pay this, and so it was an interesting thing. Pictures of her pricing, and she has sources where it all came from, but it got us thinking about like how is there a way we could apply that to the co-op? And we haven't really had a chance to dig deep. We just, like I said, welcomed some new board members and stuff, but my issue is, how does that make the people who ponied up $200 feel? Most of us are like, I want to support the co-op. It doesn't matter to me, but there will certainly be other people who have wanted their member share back because we don't have a building yet. And told them, no, we can't do that. And you know what I mean? So there's tension there about how that's communicated and rolled out. And if it's even a possibility, and the legality of you own a share. So is one share.
This is a legal contract.
$200 thing. And so how does that work if you give someone else one for 50 or 10? I don't know if that's even a possibility, but it was a conversation that fits in with what you're saying, is how do you break down that barrier? And welcome people who can and want to spend $500 for a share, and also welcome people at the same level who can only spend $10 for a share, and we're still all equal players. And so how do you create that community of acceptance? But I think we're a long way away from figuring out what that would all look like and if it's even a possibility, but it was certainly something that someone was offering as a thought, got us all kind of thinking. But
yeah, totally. And I love that artist pricing. That's a really cool way to go about it.
I can send you some of the sources she shared with me about where she got. She co-opted those from other, and she cited them on her pricing thing. But I can share.
That'd be great if you would. That'd be great. Susan, I know you have your hand up.
Yeah. On our brochure, we have something at the bottom, or like our regular price is $200, or you can be like a founding member for $400. But at the bottom, we have $20 food for all. And and we have something that says inquire about this if you need, if you're in a situation where you need it. But we haven't had very much membership growth. And I do kind of wonder if some people think, well, I spent $200 and now they're offering this for $20. And I know for sure of some people who have just kind of taken advantage of that $20 and, when they could well have afforded.
Yeah.
More.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what you can do about something like that though.
Right. Right. That is a situation that can occur for sure.
And I don't know if there's any way of checking on if people are, really, I know like at the YMCA here, they have scholarships, but you have to bring in your tax form and, show them what your income is. And I don't know that you want to do that with the co-op.
Right. There's like a decision point, like how much paperwork and administration are we willing to undertake to monitor that? And then the inclusivity side of it, that's a hurdle. Having to find those tax forms, having to get that stuff together, having to put it all, you have to have that conversation. First, you have to ask. That's hard. Then you have to have the paperwork to support your ask at the YMCA, for example. And then, that's a lot of hurdles that you have to overcome.
I don't know if it was a good idea to put $20 though. I think it would have been better to say, if you need financial assistance, talk to us, and maybe they'd say, well, I could afford 50 or I could afford 100 instead of just 20.
Yeah.
Right.
Lisa,
I was going to say, in my past life, I worked in philanthropy, and one of our grantees was the local food bank, and they struggled with this question about people taking advantage. And in the end of the day, they decided not to put up any more barriers. And if somebody's coming through their door, they're just going to take them in. And that was, I thought, a really great way to approach that.
Yep. That's my preferred method, Becky. But I tend to be more on the lenient side of things. I want to meet people where they are and bring them all in. Green Top Groceries, they had a question on their application. Are you a full pay or a scholarship app or a discounted app? That was the only checking we did. If you checked the box that wanted a discounted app, we gave it to you. We didn't ask any questions. If there were funds in the account to pay your other half, it was not an issue. And that was never an issue in terms of fund availability. But Lisa, that topic of a sliding scale came up in another co-op I'm working with. And I think because this is a legal contract and it's 101 already, so we're not going to get into that topic in great detail, but it's a legal contract. So we have some restrictions on what we can do, but we have some options too. So I'll put that on the list as a topic for 2024 too. Okay, guys, it's always good to talk to you. Thank you for joining me today. And I won't be having Coffee with Katie in December. We'll take December off, but I'll look forward to seeing you guys back in January.
Great. Thanks.
Happy
Thanks for
holidays.
doing this, Katie. Bye.
You bet.
Thanks.
You bet.
holidays.
Have a great day.
Bye.